Hi, I'm Alex Goddard, massive Doctor Who fan, and welcome back to my channel for a brand new Doctor Who video. And today is my long awaited review on the lost missing story, The Faceless Ones. And like I told you in my unpopular opinions video of Doctor Who animation, I'm a massive fan of animation and I am dying to review this lost missing gem. Such an underrated story, The Faceless Ones, and today I'm giving you my in-depth review on the one and only The Faceless Ones. Now, before I delve deep onto the story of The Faceless Ones written by David Ells and Malcolm Hulke, I must thank BBC America and the amazing animation team for giving us our wonderful Doctor Who DVD release. Whether you got it on Steelbook, Blu-ray or a normal standard DVD, I just want to thank you for making this entire story possible, because The Faceless Ones is so criminally underrated and it's one of the stories that definitely needed an animation revamp in order to be fully appreciated. So I must thank BBC America and the animation team for all the hard work that they've put into this. And let me say that The Faceless Ones is one of those stories that is always forgotten, especially in season 4 when it's been overshadowed by The Evil of the Daleks, The Moon Base, Power of the Daleks, The 10th Planet. Those stories just are so much better, but this is just, it's like a hidden gem found in a little pile, and it's so wonderful to see it back up, and with the beautiful animation, the improvisation, even with clips that were not given by Telesnap Reconstruction, the improvisation is working really nicely, and I love the different shots that they combine to cover up the missing Telesnap reconstructions. It's so fantastic, and to see different versions of what you would usually expect to cover up loads of flaws, and it's really good. Especially a few Easter eggs where we got to see pictures of an imposter, Master, Rose Delgado, and Sacha Dhawan, played the Master in series 12. So we get a few little Easter eggs in it, and I really like it. But anyway, the story itself is set out in Gatwick Airport, and it's a wonderful laid out mystery story. The Doctor, Jamie, Ben and Polly arrive at Gatwick Airport and they stumble across a mystery. A man just being shot by a ray gun, being electrocuted. It makes you wonder that this gun fired by this particular individual is not of this earth, and it's really interesting and fascinating to go along with this entire mystery, and to see Jamie and the Doctor getting stopped by airline control saying, "I want to see your passports," and they don't have their passports with them. It's really funny just to see the Doctor demanding a photo. "I want to see somebody in higher authority," and so the Commandant comes along and says, "I'm in charge." "Well, are you going to sort out my situation or not?" He feels like that he wants to be known as an important person to report something, but the Commandant's like, "Oh, just get them all out of here." It's so funny though, especially when they don't have any passports. It's like Jamie has to tell, like, "Oh, we came in the TARDIS," and the Doctor's like, "Shut up." It's like, "I want to see somebody in authority. Come on, please, listen to me." And then all of a sudden they make a break for it, and then they get called by the police, by the Commandant, and asked to be arrested. Unfortunately though, they stumble across more than just being arrested. They stumble upon young people being abducted by chameleon tours. Now the way this is done is so intriguing, and I really love the plot, the concept, and especially the characters along with it. It's just a wonderful piece together plot, and I don't think there's any necessary flaws. There may be a few flaws with other people saying that the animation faces don't look really right. However, in terms of animation, and this is going to be my last piece of animation, the animation is perfect, and I'm not going to say anything more. Anyway, let's just delve deep onto the characters. Now I must say that Samantha Briggs gets an honourable mention in this video because she is wonderful, and I would have said she would have been better than Victoria as a companion. She's really feisty, she's single-minded, she's confident, she's got an attitude, and you get to see a really loving relationship between Jamie and Samantha, and it's so cute. And they kiss at the end. They kiss twice actually, and it's so beautiful just to see a little romance that you never get to see in a Doctor Who story, and I think that's really cute. And I think Jamie surprisingly shines in this story. He is so driven by the Doctor, and he's made such a star out of him on Doctor Who, and this is the story where he really shines. He takes over the situation, he gets himself on the plane and goes up to the spaceship and finds out what's happening to the missing passengers, other than to be expected to be turned into a chameleon or just to be abducted as well. So he literally takes a lot of risks in this story, and as well as the Doctor, he is taking a lot of risk and certainly has a wonderful performance in this story, and he definitely shines, especially in most of the cliffhangers, like episodes 2 cliffhanger when he's getting shriveled up in the cold environment, the frosty environment, by the sub-zero gas that he's being trapped in a little room and he can't get out. It's really creepy stuff, and especially the cliffhangers like in episode 3 when they reveal what happened to all the passengers. They just shrink down. It's like, where the hell have they all gone? And most importantly, my favourite cliffhanger out of all of the cliffhangers in this story is episode 4, where we get to see the spaceship up above in space, and it's us thinking, what does the spaceship looks like? What does it look like on the interior and the outerior as well? And it's just fantastic to see that the animation have gone into a lot of detail and to make the ship feel like it's a real ship instead of something that might be fake in terms of watching it in the usual constant formats. I would have preferred watching it in animation, and it just looks really fucking good. I'm not gonna lie, the animation shows up and it really gives a good flow to the story. It gives the whole mystery feel a little bit of a slower pace, and I really like that, because even if it may be 6 parts, it's taking you on a little journey of like piece by piece. You slowly work out the puzzle, you work out the riddle, and this is the reason why I really like it being a 6-parter, because in each episode it lays out different pieces of evidence and you slowly piece it out together, and I really love what they do here. It's fantastic writing from David Elves and Malcolm Hulke, who are well known for writing the war games, like, you know, and comparing alongside with Terrance Dicks with the war games. And he is such an underrated writer, Malcolm Hulke, who also writes my favourite 1970s story, Doctor Who and the Silurians. So yeah, massive credit goes to Malcolm Hulke, and I believe this was his first Doctor Who story, and I've got to say, for his first story, he's bloody good. He's bloody good at writing scripts. And I've got to say that the entire character lists are very good, especially the Commandant, who at first is single-minded and is quite stubborn and quite idiotic, I must say, and he's very persistent on what he wants to believe. He completely disbelieves all of the shenanigans and the story that the Doctor gives him. It's like, oh well, bollocks, this is not good what I wanted. But then again, it's really like when he slowly but surely understands what's going on, he slowly pieces it together and gets much better as a character. Sometimes in episode 1 you get to see moments where like, oh, I'm busy, I don't want to deal with this, and then he calls up the police straight away. As soon as the Doctor walks in, give me the police now. And it's like, come on, give the guy a chance, give him a chance to explain his story and try to understand it. He keeps on thinking about it in Earth terms rather than the Doctor explaining to him in more like beyond Earth terms, like what happens when the plane stay still on the radar. Like, this was one of the moments I thought that this is clearly why the Commandant is speaking in Earth terms and why he's thinking in Earth terms. Especially when you see on the radar, when a plane stops on the radar, it means that they're going downwards instead of going upwards. And he didn't realise that. Oh, come on, Doctor. I mean, why would they even abduct people into space? And the Doctor's like, precisely. That's why you don't get to see any planes crash. That's like piecing it all together for the Commandant, and I really like him. He's got such an authority figure. He's very stubborn, but yet has the authority and has the audacity to understand and piece it together, and shows a bit of self-defense in the later episodes, and he's really good. And also another character I'd like to point out is Detective Inspector Crossline, who at first we get to see that he's a very persuasive and very likeable character. He's more like of an alibi or of an ally to the Doctor to help the Commandant understand his story better. And it's really well paced that he is sort of like an interesting character that you get to see in many parts of the episode. And until episode 5 comes around, we then get to be revealed that Crossland is actually the director of this entire scheme. And it's like, I never saw that coming. It's like one of those moments that it's very unpredictable, and I love this story for giving us loads of unexpected moments. And that is certainly one of them where Crossline reveals to Jamie that I am the director, and then argues and bargains with the Doctor in episode 6. But I'll come up to the conclusion a bit later on. And I want to just talk about the plot most importantly. I want to just see how many people would have not come up with this concept of abducting young passengers on a plane, but then you fire them upwards into outer space, and then you shrink them, and then you store them into cupboards, waiting to start a brand new planet. And it's like something that was never ever been done before in Doctor Who, and that is just the beauty of the Faceless Ones being so iconic and so unique for being so faceless. I mean, the faceless creatures, the chameleons, you never get to see their proper faces properly. Sometimes it's a bit patched up. Even in the original format, you get to see that it's completely faceless, like a no-face creature. And in the animation, it helps really nicely, especially when they get to blend with the human bodies, when they merge with a certain character that's going to be a really important character in order to be an imposter. And I love the transformation. The visual effects really help, and especially if it's in animation, it's so fitting and works really nicely. And then you get to see a lot of hand resistors, and these little hand resistor things on their arms is pretty much for them to keep their image intact and to keep their whole image of their character intact. Otherwise, any sort of messing around with it or even taking it off results in the creature disintegrating, and it's literally so different from watching it on a normal television set rather than an animation format, because you get to see the character melt away like a bit of slime, and it's really gruesome, I must say. It's really different from what you kind of expected, and I definitely thought that the chameleons were definitely creepy. I would have liked to see them a bit more, maybe just lurking around in the shadows and creeping them out. But like I said, the chameleon characters can't really survive in the Earth atmosphere, so they have to be converged and being upgraded. Sort of like a Cyberman, they have to be upgraded in order to survive as a human form. And they take the image of one particular person that has been abducted, and then you get to see the transformation, and then you get to see who's an imposter and who's the real thing. Because the real thing is somewhere situated in some sort of like a coma, ready to be saved or to be having one of the things taken off him in order for him to get, you know, his full strength back, because all of the life is being drained out of the single body. That single body, the original real body, is just a shell, and as soon as the arm resistor has been taken away, then the process completely reversed, the creature disintegrates, and the person is now re-energized back to full health. And it's such a really clever concept that the Commandant uses in episode 6 to bargain with the Faceless Ones, bargain with the chameleon creatures on board the ship. They have radio communication with the people on the ship, and they made a bargain that if you release all of our 50 passengers go, we won't harm your creatures. And all of a sudden you get to see one death, and then another death, and then another death, and then the chameleon race are worried, like, all right, we've got to stop this, we'll give them back. And it's really good self-defense from the Commandant, and especially from everyone working down at the airport. It's really good self-defense, especially it gives the villains more like, you know, if you're going to be stealing our passengers, then we'll abduct your originals, and we'll take the arm resistors off, and we'll commit your chameleon races to be suicide. And it's like, you know, mass murder in that way, but not completely, as in the story ends with the Doctor going up to the spaceship and negotiating some sort of like civilized way of you living your life on your home planet. And this is something that I really liked, and it really touched upon me. The fact that we get to know about these chameleon creatures, and that their whole race was destroyed by a war, and how they have come up to this solution that they want to steal all of these young passengers, transport over to another world and start again. And I think it's such of a clever concept, and it's just how the Doctor gives a little bit of like, maybe I can give one or two ideas of myself to help your people survive. And it's like, you don't usually get to see a villain being destroyed in this. You sometimes get to see sort of like a Doctor Who and a Silurian sort of feeling to it, and I really like that, to see how the Doctor can negotiate with the chameleon creatures, because they are a really good race. They are a really venomous and quite threatening race, which I hope, I'd like to see them come back soon, because like I said, their scientists may be creating new skins or a new way for them to survive, but that doesn't mean that they're written out of Doctor Who forever. There's always a case for them coming back, so leave that in mind. That is always something to keep in mind when watching this. Don't think that this is the first and ever last appearance you'll see of the chameleon creatures, because they may show up again. As long as anyone's brain is going to be good, genius enough in order to carry out a really good story and provide a better story than the Faceless Ones. But let's just say that the Faceless Ones is already well built up via the mystery build up, the incidental music. It's so good, that music. Even if it's really silent and you get to hear just little bits of background music, it helps the episode flow along. It just flows really nicely, and I love how they do the rest of the entire plot. Like, Samantha notices it straight away, and she's a really good eye catcher of how things are not running smoothly and something's going wrong. She notices straight away even before Jamie, and that's quite surprisingly know how she's a really good character, very strong-minded and very strong-willed character. And like I said, the relationship and the romance is very, very cute, and they have a little kiss, and I really like that. Unfortunately, Ben and Polly are pretty much written out of the script and written out of the story completely because of something else. I'm not too sure why they completely were disregarded in the story, but let's just say I personally like the story to just be the Doctor, Jamie and Samantha. That is all. I do not care about Polly and Ben being in this story. I mean, I'm a bit gutted, like, you know, they didn't get the best send-off, and I know the send-off was really awkward, and I kind of didn't want that ending to happen, especially for a sweet girl like Polly and a really good guy like Ben, who's been with the Doctor for quite some time, with the first Doctor and the second Doctor, so you get to see that they should have deserved a better finish. However, I completely didn't care about their entire, involvement in the story. They had one or little two pieces of involvement in the story in episodes 1 and 2, but after that I didn't really care for them because it literally just felt like we weren't supposed to care, and I was told I was supposed to care because I personally think that the story works better without Ben and Polly, with just the Doctor, Jamie and Samantha. They are just wonderful companions, and I would have felt that would have been a good sort of set of companions, Jamie and Samantha, instead of Jamie and Victoria. But let's just say Victoria is very, very sweet and very, very humble and very, very innocent. However, Samantha is very different. She is strong-minded. Like I said, she has a very good, strong attitude as well. So let's just say, do you prefer Samantha Briggs being a companion, or did you prefer Victoria being a companion? And that's the debate I want to give out to you guys. Whether you prefer Samantha Briggs in this one story as a one-off companion, or do you prefer Victoria throughout the long list of episodes like Tomb of the Cybermen, The Ice Warriors, The Enemy of the World, View from the Deep, where she departs? So let me know in the comment section down below. Yeah, and like I said, the Chameleon Tours is just such an intriguing concept. I love the entire process that they send out postcards to all the young passengers before they go on the plane, and just before they stop off at their destination, they fly upwards. They send the passengers into space, shrinking them down into miniaturized forms and push them into drawers, and then they arrive at their destinations when they post the postcards back to Britain, so the parents think they have arrived safely in their stated countries. However, that's not the case, and it's such a fantastic and intriguing and unique concept to make a getaway and to throw off any superstition of where they may be. And it's a very clever organisation, and I like episode 6 a lot, being that the Doctor arrives on the spaceship, and like I said, the normal formats, like in the reconstructions, don't give a lot of good sort of like images of what the situation's going on until we get to see the animation episode 6. Oh my word, I never thought a finish like that would happen, and it's so different. And I know maybe they should have had a better finish to the story, maybe they should have worked something out, but I really liked how you got to see a lot of the interior of the spaceship, and that was something so brand new. And especially to see all the chameleons running around, running all the stations, running the airways, running the spaceship. It was just so different and so new, and I really did enjoy this story. It's a criminally underrated gem in my opinion, especially with all the characters like Captain Bleed. He was very vicious and such a dry-minded character. Like, you get to see all these characters who are well known in this story, like Spencer, Captain Blade, the Commandant, and also Inspector Croissant, who we thought was going to be a good guy, but then turned out to be the director. And you get to see how down to earth these characters are, and it makes you really believable that they are telling the truth and what the situation is going on. They are very, very dry, very, very menacing, and also very unpredictable. You get to see a lot of creepy cliffhangers, and the incidental music is so good, and it works well alongside the animation. And also the episode ends with the Doctor finding out the TARDIS is missing, and they have to go and search off for it, which then leads into the 7-part Dalek story, Evil of the Daleks, which I hope will be the next one to be recovered. Who knows? But anyway, that's it for my review of the Faceless Ones. I have really enjoyed watching the Faceless Ones. It's such of a criminally underrated gem in the Patrick Troughton era. I think throughout the 1960s, I think this is the most underrated gem of the decade, let's just say that. And now that's just got me thinking, what are the most underrated gems in each decade of Doctor Who? The 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 2000s and the 2010s. That might be a good video to do actually. I just thought of a really good idea. But anyway, that's the end for my in-depth review of the Faceless Ones. And as an overall rating, I'm going to be very generous because I love the animation. I did think that Ben and Polly's ending was possibly not the ending that they hoped. I know some people would say that the animation, they would have had a few flaws. The images of the faces don't look correct, and maybe there'd be 1 or 2 scenes that they kind of didn't like. However, for this review, I'm going to give it a very strong 9.6 out of 10. It's a very strong story and should be above those lists with Evil of the Daleks, Power of the Daleks, The 10th Planet, The Moon Base. Should be on level with those stories. And I do personally think I like the Faceless Ones more than I do about the Macra Terror. Like, the Macra Terror is certainly a great story, and it certainly worked well with the animation. A lot of improvisation was used on the Macra Terror, and I kind of credit the Macra Terror a lot for being really good on improvisation. However, this one you sometimes have to follow a bit of a structure. With episodes 1 and 3, you've got to correlate to the right scenes, and like I said, I think this story is so underrated that I think all of you should definitely go and watch it tonight, because it's one of the most criminally underrated and very brilliant based on the Siege, but also has a really good mystery feel to it. It feels like a Sherlock Holmes story where you get to learn each of the missing mystery piece by piece, and it's so good to see you actually solving the problem yourself and seeing where all these missing passengers going. And then the end of the episode is so unexpected. I know many people would say that's not the ending I kind of hoped for, however it's different and I like difference. And so yeah, the chameleons, they looked creepy, especially with the animation. The animation helped out with their transformation, even with the hand-fitted resistors posing to be self-defense for the Commandant in order for them to throw, like, right, if you're going to throw our 5,000 passengers away, we'll kill all of your imposters. And it's just really good self-defense to see that the humans actually have an advantage and have to put up the fight against the chameleon race, the Faceless Ones. And it's certainly a very good story. Like I said, I think David Earls and Malcolm Hulke definitely succeeded with their first Doctor Who story. And like I said, you know, maybe we should be a lot more respectful for the stories that certainly get lost thanks to, you know, the wonders of animation, bringing it all back to life and actually giving it more of an uprising popularity, especially now that the animation is going to be stronger than ever. You never know, Evil of the Daleks could even rise above Power, especially with Power of the Daleks being one of the best Dalek stories ever, and maybe Evil of the Daleks could compete with the Power of the Daleks. But like I said, Fury from the Deep is the one coming next, and I cannot wait for Fury of the Deep. And that will certainly be released, I don't know, I hope maybe around October time, because that would be certainly creepy watching it in the dark. My word. It will certainly be a wonderful Doctor Who DVD release, and I hope they do the same with Fury from the Deep. Anyway, thank you so much everyone for watching my in-depth review on the Faceless Ones. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please give a like on this video, share and subscribe for more Doctor Who content like this. Please comment down below your opinions on the Faceless Faceless Ones? Did you enjoy it? What did you think about the animation? Did it flow really nicely? Did you like the characters? What did you think of the overall plot itself? Let me know in the comment section down below. But thank you so much everyone for watching, and like I said, stay at home, protect the NHS and save lives. Thanks so much everyone for watching, and I'll see you all next time for another Doctor Who video. See you guys later.